Hello, Medicus Global family. My name is James Camaro, Vice President of Sales and International Expansion. I want to welcome you to a very simplified version of our compensation plan training. Now, sometimes compensation plans can seem a bit overwhelming or a bit complicated. Sometimes people equate them to perhaps reading the schematic of a space shuttle. But in all due candor, they're really simple to understand if they're simply communicated. So we're going to keep it real simple, and a lot of the details should be handled by your upline mentor or your upline corporate team person, or perhaps a simple call to the company, to our customer service line, and they can simply help you out and answer those questions. We have a very exciting compensation plan that is extremely profitable and can generate weekly income, monthly income, and a lifetime of residual income. So you can start your Medicus business and right out of the gate, very quickly, as fast as you want to go, start to earn that weekly income, and then that will turn into monthly income, which can turn into a lifetime of residual wealth. Now, our plan is basically defined or described as what we call a hybrid, kind of like a hybrid automobile. There's two types of engines. Part of the engine runs on gas, part of it runs on electric. Well, our hybrid plan has essentially two major components. We have a binary tree, which is on the front of the plan, which we'll explain in a moment, and we have the unilevel portion, which is on the back end of the plan. Now, the front of the plan, which is called the binary, is built on line of placement, and we'll discuss a little bit later on what that means. The back end of the plan is defined as following line of sponsorship. So let's talk a little bit about how that works. The binary is essentially a two-legged structure. So you start and then you sponsor your first person, and they're placed on your left leg, and there's one placed on your right leg. And then those two legs start to follow a pattern of replication. 2 gets 2 gets 2 gets 2. Now the great thing about a binary is if you're personally sponsoring and placing people down in your organization, the magic could really happen is if somebody above you helps you to do that as well, and that could be a very real possibility. That means you perhaps potentially could get some people placed underneath you, which is raises phenomenal opportunity. Now, even better, the legs in the binary, and the two legs, go to infinity, meaning there's no levels. It doesn't cut off. It can go down 50, 60, 70, 100 levels, 1,000 levels, and you have the opportunity to be paid on the pay leg of that binary. We're going to go through what that means in a moment. Now, let's talk about this for a second. When you start in your Medicus Global business, you want to sponsor your first two people, and that will help you to become qualified. So when you sponsor them, they will stay in your unilevel portion of the compensation plan, and they will stay in your first level. So if you sponsor me and then you sponsor Sally, we are in level 1 of your unilevel compensation. We have 2 spots there. But we also are taking 2 spots in your binary because you have 2 different components. So we're taking your left leg, perhaps, and your right leg in the binary. So we're operating in 2 different places for you. We're operating in the placement tree on the left leg and the right leg, and also in 2 different legs in the unilevel. But what happens if you sponsor a third person? Let's say you sponsor Roger. Where does Roger go? Well, Roger remains in your unilevel. He's the third person, the third leg in the unilevel, but then you take Roger and the system, or you can do it manually through your back office, or the system can automatically default. Roger stays in that unilevel, but he also now takes a spot in that binary, and that could be under that left leg or under that right leg. So now you have 3 people in that binary. Let's say you sponsored a 4th person, and that can be Peter. Now that's the 4th person. That means you have 4 separate legs in that unilevel. But now you've got to take Peter and give him a spot also in your binary and place him either on the left leg or the right leg in the binary. So as you can see, you have 2 different trees that are growing. You have a personally sponsored tree, which is the unilevel, and you have the binary tree, which is growing, which is part of the placement tree. Two separate and distinct pieces of the compensation plan, but they work in conjunction with each other. So let's talk about the binary and how you get paid in the binary. The binary has two legs, a left leg and a right leg. And the volume that goes into that binary comes from new people starting in the business with junior MedTrack packs, business entry packs, and MedTrack packs. Every single week, the week starts on a Wednesday and it finishes up on a Tuesday night at midnight. And that's Tuesday night, midnight Pacific Standard Time. But from Wednesday to Tuesday, all the volume that was collected on starter packages enters into those two legs if there are people coming into the business. And the computer or our systems calculate the volume in each one of those legs. Now, the volume that you'll see in those legs is calculated in points. We have a point value on the packages. So let's say perhaps there's 5,000 points on one side of starter packs that have gotten started, and maybe there's 6,000 points on the other leg that have accumulated on starter packs, various people. So you have 5,000 points on one leg, 6,000 points on the other. And you'll be able to track this in your back office. Your back office will say in real time what the volume is on the left and what the volume is on the right. It'll even show you what volume carries over for you from week to week, because volume does carry over as well, and that's a really cool part of our compensation plan. So our systems will take a snapshot at the end of the week, and it will pay you on your pay leg. Now the pay leg on a binary structure, on a two-legged structure, is always the leg that has the lesser volume. And the key in a binary is to keep the two legs balanced. And you'll be able to see how to do that based on the gauges, if you would, on your dashboard. You'll be able to see what's in your left. You'll be able to see what's in your right leg. So you'll know if this amount of volume is in the left leg and this amount of volume is in the right leg, you'll know how much money you're going to make that week based on your rank qualification. It's a real simple tracking method, but it gives you in real time the ability to see how much money you're going to earn this week, or set your targets based on the numbers to hit a goal. So that's why we really love the front end of the plan, or the binary. And keep in mind, the binary also can be built, or you can have help building it through possibly someone above you as well. So that pays weekly. Now the back end of the plan, which we discussed before, remember where we said we had 4 people that you personally sponsored? Where they're also in your unilevel portion of the compensation plan. That's the sponsor tree, and those 4 people represent their 4 different legs. Now the volume that accumulates in that portion of the plan comes from your telemedicine customers, your affiliates and consultants that are using telemedicine, your labs, your B2Bs, your specialty pharmacy, your health fairs, your skin care products, etc. All of that volume goes into the unilevel. Now in the unilevel, based on your rank, and the rank can be achieved through certain volume requirements, you have the ability to go down 20 levels of pay in that unilevel on telemedicine, business to business, specialty pharmacy, and our skincare and our labs. That means you can get paid down potentially 20 levels. That can mean extraordinary amounts of income, and they start at $1,000 and they go up to $250,000, unprecedented in the home-based business industry. Now, if you couple all of these things together, the binary portion that pays weekly, the unilevel portion which pays monthly, potentially down 20 levels, and in that unilevel, the labs, the B2B, the specialty pharmacy, all those great things falls into that unilevel. When you combine these two aspects, or these two engines together, forming this very powerful hybrid compensation plan, the potential is limitless. So just to recap, we have 2 trees in our organization. We have a sponsor tree and we have a placement tree. Our placement tree represents the binary portion of the plan. The binary portion is made up of people that are placed in that tree, and there are no levels. It can go down to infinity. The volume that is created in that tree comes from new packs and upgrades of starter packs as well. It's paid weekly, and it could go as high as $25,000 a week. The second phase of the plan is called the unilevel or the sponsor tree. And in that sponsor tree, you want to sponsor as many people as you can personally, because remember, they stay in the unilevel all in your first level, and then they start building their organization so you have multiple legs, but they also have a place in your binary. And in that unilevel, the telemedicine, B2B, specialty pharmacy, labs, skincare, health fairs, all of those accounts, those sales fall into that unilevel portion of the plan, which potentially can go down 20 levels. Combine that with the rank advancement bonuses that we have that start at $1,000 and go up to $250,000. Oh, and there's one final thing, two final things which we failed to let you know. One is that there is a incredible 20% direct first order bonus on anybody that you sponsor, and also a 10% check matching bonus on your personal organization as well in your sponsor tree. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, a very simple, quick overview of the compensation plan. Feel free to watch us over as many times as you like. The more you watch it and the more you listen to it, but most importantly, put it into application. The more you're building your business and working with your upline mentor or your corporate team person, and the more you're involved, you'll see how this compensation plan truly represents wealth and financial freedom. Don't be afraid if you don't understand all of it right now. It could be a little bit of a learning process, but keep in mind, it's simple, it's profound, and it enables average folks like you and I to earn above average incomes and write what we want the rest of our lives to look like and be like. Thanks for joining us. On behalf of Medicus Global, we wish you and your family all the best.